Hi, it's Kai and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be ranking and reviewing the Forever Mood fragrances. This has recently gotten a restock. I have the sample kit here, and of course I love Miss Jackie. Like, I have literally purchased so many of the different collabs she's had over the year. I have LeBron's. I didn't get to get the second one, Le Peach. I didn't get that one, but I have LeBron's. I have the collaboration with ABH. I don't even really purchase ABH anymore, but like I am attached to that palette. Like, I absolutely love Jackie. I've of course tried the candles from Forever Mood before and really like those, especially like the little mini candle sets. It's so nice to like get to try out different candles and stuff. So when she came out with Perfumes, I was just like, absolutely, I am getting my hands on them. The first round I actually did not get my hands on them, and I had to wait for them to come back in stock. But when it came back in stock, I definitely got my travel size or travel little set, or what is this called, sample discovery set technically. So we're just going to go through each of these, talk about the fragrances as a whole, my thoughts on them, and honestly why these are so mass appealing, because they really are. There's a reason that this keeps selling out. So we might as well just start off with that point. These are so popular because while they are interesting takes on different perfume categories, they are unique but still very mass appealing. Like, you're not going to get any super experimental like car tire and gasoline type of notes out of this set. The most, I would say, like interesting or like different type of note that you're going to get is the tobacco flower and spiced rum that is in NDA, but even then it's still a very approachable way to wearing those scents. I feel like if you're a person who wants like an introduction, specifically with NDA, to like tobacco-y, more smoky, deep, sensual type of scents, then this is a good way to do it because it's so balanced. And that is something that I have to say about all of these fragrances, is that they are very balanced. There is not like one screechy note in each of them. There is not like something that just kind of smells off. Again, all of these smell good on my skin. All of them, despite them being in very different categories. We've got like more fruity florals, we've got kind of a clean shampoo-y one, we've got a lemon cake type of one. Like, there's different categories, of course, but these are all, again, very approachable ways of trying those categories. I also like the size of these samples because I've had these for quite a few months, and I've really been able to try out each of the fragrances a few times, and I find that like I still have a good amount. Like, you can see that I've tried them, used them and such, but that I've been able to get a good amount of use to really try out the fragrances. Plus they're just really nice. They're not like the little samples, they've got a nozzle on them. It's a very luxurious like sample kit, especially for the fact that I don't think this was that expensive. Yeah, this sample set is $24, so if Jackie could make it this nice quality, the sprayer, like the nozzles themselves spray very nice and fine, if she can do it, then like anyone should be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be moving past the era of, and I'm not necessarily a person who hates dabbers, but I do hate that a lot of samples, especially since samples and decants and stuff like that are becoming more popular ways to try fragrances. I feel as though sometimes the little dabbers are definitely like, they're getting smaller and smaller, and I feel like some brands, especially when it's like a larger brand, like again, Forever Mood isn't necessarily like a itty bitty small brand. It's well known. I feel like Jackie Aina is a household name, you know what I'm saying? So it was never going to be like a small business, I guess, but like it is not, you know, the beauty conglomerates. So again, if Jackie can do it, if Forever Mood can do it, I need to see some of these bigger brands that are really raking in the bucks starting to do a little bit better with their packaging and presentation. And again, like, this just looks really nice. I've kept the box because it looks like a cute little box, and it also has like the notes and stuff on the box, and again, it's just, I actually like it. It's cute. Another thing that I overall like about this brand is the price point. These are not very like expensive fragrances. The travel sizes are $28, which I feel like is on par with travel sizes for most brands. This sample kit is $24 and you get to try all 4 of them, and like I said, these are pretty good size samples. And then the full sizes are $79, so under $100 for a standard size 50 ml, 1.7 ounces. And I feel as though that's a really good price point. I would even potentially pay more for some of these. Like, I mean, I thought that they were going to be more expensive. And I know people have talked about the packaging of the full-size bottles as well. I honestly like when brands do something a little bit different. I like the whole gemstone look, so I don't really have any big thoughts about the packaging. But getting into the actual scents themselves, overall, I would say that these have pretty average wear time on me. Like, they're not the most long lasting, and I feel like they do vary a little bit by the type of scent. Like, the lightest scent you remind me, which is the apricot, like kind of fresh linen-y type of scent, that one wears the least long. Like, I get maybe 3 or 4 hours, which again, I feel like is pretty standard for perfume, especially on me, and especially given that like the time that I got this was during the summertime. So summertime heat, it's gonna evaporate off of me. I'm sweating and stuff like that. You know, perfume longevity, given all of those variables, isn't always the most important thing to me. I do feel like it lasts pretty nicely on clothes. It's not something that is like beast mode or that is going to like be super fragrant on your clothes. But you know, when I'm putting my laundry into the washing machine, I forgot what that was called for a second, but when I'm putting my laundry into the washing machine, I could definitely still like smell a hint of the base notes on my clothes. As far as projection, I would say that these stick pretty close to the skin. It has like nice sillage, like it's going to create a trail behind you, but it's going to be a more like intimate trail. These were ones that I was trying out when I was still in my corporate job, and I was able to wear them in the office without feeling like I was doing too much or like wearing something that was too loud or going to irritate other people. So again, even though they are different scent categories, and we've got even one that is like that more tobacco leaf, you know, again, sexy sensual type of scent, it is still wearable for a lot of the year, for a lot of different weather and for different occasions, because it does, you know, create a more intimate bubble around you versus being a super type of perfume, like projecting very far. Into my personal ranking of these, I unfortunately am no better than anyone else because my personal favorite is hard to get. And of course, this is hard to get. It's the most popular one. It sells out basically immediately every time it's restocked, but it's for good reason. Honestly, if you like those really fluffy, citrus and marshmallowy sugar type of scents, you'll love this. Like, things that I think of when I smell this are like Al Rahab Soft, Xerjoff Lyra, or any of the Xerjoff Lyra alternatives that are out there. Just something in that lemon cake, lemon bar, but still like sugary, a little bit fluffy and fresh. Like, it is so good. The notes of this are citron zest, sheer jasmine, and whipped vanilla. And again, it is just all 3 of those things. The jasmine gives it like a light floraliness. Again, my favorite for a reason. This is the one that I want a full size of. Like, honestly, I could see myself at least getting travel sizes of all of these, but this is the one that I want a full size of the most. And of course, it is always sold out. My next favorite is probably like most people's least favorite, and not because it's not a good scent, but I just feel as though people, like, this category is just underrated. I feel as though people are more into the gourmands and, like, especially on Perfume Talk now, the more interesting fragrances, whereas this one, it's clean, it's fresh, slightly fruity. It's just the type of fragrance that I really like for myself personally. It's You Remind Me. Again, the one that I feel like most people would just kind of like overlook because it has that, like, it's a little bit sweet, but it kind of smells just like a fresh t-shirt right out of the laundry. Again, this is one that I would definitely wear in the office and for work. I would say this is my most worn one so far, even though it's my second favorite, just because, again, I really gravitate towards these types of fragrances for a lot of different occasions. The notes of this are apricot skin, orange blossom, and sensual musk, and to me, I feel like you mostly get the apricot skin, a hint of the orange blossom. It's definitely not a very aggressively orange blossom type of scent. If that is a, what do you call it? A note that can be a little bit heady for you, because I know for some people it can be heavy. It is just like a slight dash that adds a little bit of floraliness, and then of course the musk that is giving it that clean laundry, fresh t-shirt out of the wash. I really like this one. It doesn't last very long, admittedly. I feel like this one lasts the least long out of all of them, like maybe 2.5 to 3 hours before I really feel like I want to re-up on it. But it is, again, one of those really light type of fragrances, and I feel like that is a common problem or issue, if you want to call it a problem or issue, with those fragrance, or like just that fragrance category in general. It can be hard to make something that is like really musky actually like last a long time. My next favorite would be I Am Her, which again, it's kind of hard to rank these because I do really like all of them, and it's not really like a most favorite to least favorite thing. It's like, this is my most favorite, and then this is my second most favorite, and then this is my third most favorite. But my third most favorite is I Am Her, specifically because this reminds me so much of Britney Spears Fantasy, or Midnight Fantasy specifically, but like the upgraded, more adult version of it, because you have some fruitiness. It has, I think it's the pear, yeah, there's pear and raspberry in here, which give it a fruitiness and a little bit of a cleanness, I would say, from the pear, almost like a shampooiness, which is what I get from Britney Spears Midnight Fantasy. But I feel like the shampooiness in that one is just a little bit more like fun and like young, whereas this one almost smells like expensive, like salon grade shampoo. Am I re-recording this at 4 a.m. because my light died, and the footage that I used with a different light, or when I use a different light, was just absolutely disgusting? Yes, but that is the dedication to the craft. So anyways, like I was saying, we were talking about I Am Her. It has that high-end shampoo-y type of scent, but then there is also that red velvet note that is in there, and it's a little bit cupcakey, a little sweet. That's what's reminding me of like the Britney Spears Fantasy or Midnight Fantasy, but again, it just smells a little bit elevated compared to something like that. So if that was your signature scent when you were in high school, college, whatever, as it was mine, definitely check this one out. I'm surprised, but also not so surprised, because my fragrance tastes have definitely evolved over the years. I'm into a lot of different categories now, but I'm almost surprised that this is my third favorite. And again, these are all very difficult to rank because I could probably shift around the ranking of these depending on my mood or depending on the time of year or a number of different factors, just because each one of them is so wearable for my skin and is within the realm of something I would wear. But I'm almost surprised that this one is, again, my third favorite of all of them, just because this was the literal scent profile I wore all throughout my like adolescence. It brings back so much nostalgia while also being, again, something a little bit new. Finally, there's NDA, and again, framing this, instead of saying this is my least favorite, it is my fourth most favorite because I really like it. I feel like if you want a, it almost smells like vanilla bean ice cream with like a little bit of spiciness added in there. There's a little bit of that tobacco flower, but it's very light. It doesn't smell like a pipe or like super smoky. I actually had one of my friends, my cats are starting to run, but I actually had one of my friends ask me for recommendations for fragrances similar to Replica Jazz Club, but not exactly like it. And I was like, if you want something that is like Replica Jazz Club but less smoky and more sweet, this is a really nice way of, again, getting introduced to those more like smoky tobacco leaf, like sensual, sexy type of fragrances. I would just say that this is my least favorite because it's not a scent profile that I feel like I gravitate toward all the time. I definitely gravitate toward the other three a lot more, but in this scent profile, I find it to be very wearable and approachable. Again, kind of like vanilla bean ice cream, or eating a little bit of vanilla bean ice cream when you're sitting with like your grandpa in his little parlor where he would smoke. I had a grandpa who smoked cigars and like had his pipe collection and tobacco and stuff like that, so he never really smoked around like us or me as grandchildren or a grandchild, but like, you know, just you could smell in the area that he kept the pipes just that kind of like light hint of tobacco. That's kind of what this one gives. So again, something that kind of is a little bit nostalgic to me, while still being very wearable and very approachable. All in all, I absolutely love the Forvr Mood fragrances, and I would highly recommend trying them out. I think they are beautiful, so well done, and honestly pretty affordable for the quality of them, and being able to get 4 really nice fragrances that will last you months if you don't spray them, which I don't feel the need to overspray them necessarily, but I really do like them. As I said before, I could see myself picking up a travel size of at least all of them at some point. It might take me a second to get there because, you know, you gotta budget it out. You can't be collecting all of the Pokemon all at once, but I could definitely see myself getting at least travel sizes of everything, and I could definitely see myself getting full sizes of hard to get. Again, I could see full sizes of all of them, but if there were full sizes that I would want the most, it would definitely be hard to get. And honestly, I really like You Remind Me, but I would probably get a full size of I Am Her, because I Am Her is, again, just that nostalgic kind of reminder of like where I was and how grown up and like where I've been. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling and we're gonna cut it off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want like in-depth videos over on any other platforms, or in-depth reviews of each one of these, like really deep into them instead of more of an overview of each of them, and I can definitely do that, or just any other type of videos in general. I'm totally down to do whatever. I hope you guys are staying safe or healthy wherever you are when you're watching this, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.